What's good, everybody? From the ashes we rise. MCTR, the Black Phoenix Podcast, kicking it with y'all for another week. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. TR was good.
Hey, it's good. It's all good over here. I just got to say one thing. It's fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, we play in the end of September, so that's gonna be real interesting. Tampa got the finally broke the Atlantic curse. I'm happy about that. He make us looks like he's the real deal. It's the good time to be a Tampa Bay fan right now.
With Baker Mayfield?
You just you
Oh.
stay on Baker's deck, man. Baker's not been the problem. Our pass defense has been the problem, but we
Hey,
working on it.
I
We
didn't look
getting
at
there.
his stats. How many interceptions did he throw?
Actually, he didn't throw any this time. I know he threw
Oh,
17 last year, but he didn't throw any today.
okay. All right. All right. All right. I mean, good
That's
start. Good
still
start
better
to the
than the
season.
30 that Jameis Winston was throwing when he was our quarterback. So
Yeah.
upgrades.
Yeah. That's funny. I mean, yeah, it's a good start to NFL. And, I got to see the Chiefs lose, which I'm surprised that they lost to the Chargers. And then we got, I'm trying to think, like Aaron Rodgers, he balled out today too. So,
And the Ravens and the Bills are in the dog fight right now. Last time I checked,
oh, yeah, Lamar and Josh. So,
week one is not disappointed.
yeah, those guys will begin to the playoffs and have early exits.
I don't know. We're gonna have to come back to that one. I think Baltimore might at least get to the Super Bowl this year. They look good. They really look good.
Super Bowl. Yeah. All right. Enough BSing. We are going to have a light topic to start things off. Best friend tries to steal husband. Now, I know for a lot of people, when it comes to like dating and relationships, people tend to think that a best friend or someone that's in your circle that wouldn't, or at least for men, you wouldn't think one of your boys wouldn't try to go after you. But what I've seen, and when someone passes away, is generally someone in your circle that tries to get with your wife or your girlfriend. It's generally someone will try to make a move. MC.
That's diabolical as hell. I don't know if I got that same story, but what I do know is this, man. It's a lot of lonely women out here, and if you a solid dude, you see it in all kinds of ways. It manifests in front of you in weird ways.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I am gonna get this kicked off. If it'll if it'll play, let's see. Okay, I think we're good. All right.
Husband came home one day and said, "Babe, I need to tell you something, but I don't want you to get mad." I'm like, "Okay, like what happened?" He's like, "No, babe, this was kind of weird, but I'm gonna tell you because if I don't tell you, I want you to find out or some way or the other, or or go through my phone and you think I'm trying to hide something, but I'm gonna tell you." I said, "What's up, babe? Like what happened?" He's like, "Well, one of your girls, one of your friends, one of my so-called friends, one of my girls, text him talking about, 'Hey, boo.'" I'm already like, what? Hey, boo. Hey, boo. By any chance, are you busy? I just need a male's perspective. I need a male's advice. And I kind of want to like talk to you about it. Is there any way that I could like pull up after work or something and us talk about it? Girl, wait, say what now? And this is my girl, my so-called girl. This is my friend. This is like, we besties. First of all, I don't know. Listen, let me tell you something. This has nothing to do with being insecure or anything like that. My thing
I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's doing. That constant clicking and then the clackling of her fucking jewelry. Like, I hate TikTokers when they film like this. It actually annoys the piss out of me when they're doing stuff like this. Like, people talk about bad audio sometimes. What the fuck is this shit? Y'all okay with this? Y'all okay with the constant clicking and recording? Like, just hit record. Was it going to stop or something?
I ain't in no position to judge. As much as people get on me in the comments about the way my audio comes in, sometimes I ain't tripping. I guess people's expectations are just lower, TR. But me, I'm a quality sound type of guy. I need to hear everything with clarity. I kind of get the point that this chick is making, but she's kind of babbling a lot, man. Just get to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. But you're critiquing the sound. I'm gonna stick
is
to. Oh, go ahead. Let it ride.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Why would you not call me to talk to my husband? Like, yeah. Why would you not? So when my husband told me, I'm like, okay, like, and I know where y'all coming from. Some of y'all, well, why is she so comfortable, calling your husband? Why is she so comfortable even reaching out to your husband? Because my husband's that guy. No, I'm just like, but my husband, he's a really nice guy. Like, he really is a genuine person. Like, so, and she's like family. It's like family. So you kind of feel like, well, why not?
It's like
But let me tell
family.
you something. There's certain boundaries and certain lines that should not be crossed. Like, I don't understand. This is my first of all, calling him boo is diabolical. But okay, I'm still in my head like, okay, maybe she didn't mean it like that. So what I do, I called her and I say, hey girl, I want to talk to you. I told her, let's meet up. We met up and I told her, girl, like,
I will say, just to jump in here, why does she got your man's number like that? Like, to me, that's a little weird that she can just have that text. Like, do they have like a a regular text exchange or something? Because I'm like, why does she feel so comfortable just to have that conversation out loud? And I wonder if she's probably exaggerating a little bit though. But all we got to is go off of what she's saying though. But it's a bit weird though. I'm not blaming him by any means, but it's like, why does she think that it was okay to text and then call him like a little nickname or something? Like, that's how a lot of people. I mean, man, if it's on the other side and a man sees a dude calling his chick baby or something, it's lights out.
Boo is choosing signals, TR. Like when you call somebody boo, your intentions are clear. You trying to get something jumping off. Here's my thing though. You have to set the boundaries with your friends. You should be checking your friends.
Ooh,
You
which
should.
one? The man, the husband, or the girl?
This is the girl. She sets the boundaries with her friends. It's not the husband's responsibility to do that. Now, you mentioned earlier you don't know if you believe her. I believe her, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I ain't even bragging when I say this. I thought it was actually kind of weird. But TR, if I had a damn dollar for every woman that my wife knows that has asked me to help them find a husband, I'd be rich as hell, man. I really would. Like a lot of these chicks be capping about being happy while they single, but they really, really lonely and they need masculinity in their life and they trying to find it, but they not prepared for it. It sounds like
MC,
she got some friends that ain't prepared for it. What up?
MC. I
Yeah.
ain't trying to mess up the happy home, and I'm probably the only one that probably thinks like this. So when a guy tells another man that you have, I've said this before too, but I've never thought of it in the way that until someone pointed it out, where you would tell like, hey, you have a lovely wife, you're a lucky man. Do you know what that means under what the underlying thing that is there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
Okay, yeah.
I know what it means, but I also wouldn't take that as disrespectful either.
Yeah. Oh, so essentially he said he wants to fuck your wife. So so yeah, or your girl, whatever the case is. So that's what it is,
Look,
guys. Now, when women are asking, men like, hey, where can I find a guy? They're looking for a guy like you. Like, I'm not talking about you specifically, but and maybe some women aren't going to take it like that though. But that's how I'm reading it though. A lot of times, because if you're asking other men, well, I'm a guy like me, but they're like, no, 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 not you, because you're the bestie or some shit. But when they're asking happily married men, they think it's just as easy. Like, hey, check these boxes. No, they want somebody that's already put together that will, they can go over someone's covering, and at times they don't really have to do a lot of the hard decisions, and then they get more income in the household. So essentially, like a lot of times, yeah, when women are asking questions like that, they're trying to snatch, in my opinion, they're trying to snatch the guy that they're asking that question.
TR, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you in the previous episode
This guy, he's
state
trying to
that
flirt this you.
that you like your woman to like when y'all stepping out, you want her to show out a little bit, right? You like the attention she gets, right?
I don't know what that has to do with what I just said, but
I'm getting
yes.
there. I'm
All
getting
right.
there.
All right, land the plane.
You are opening the door for those types of, hey, you sure are a lucky man to have a girl like that. You opening the door for conversations like that.
Yeah, I get it. We're talking about friends though. We're not talking about some thirsty ass strangers. That's a little bit different.
You and
And
I
I can
both
fight.
know. You and I both know better than anybody else that damn near everybody got people in their circle that should not be there. People don't know how to choose friends, and women certainly don't know how to choose friends. But here's another thing, Tr, and
Mhm.
this is what people need to understand: men and women cannot be friends like that. They
That's true.
just can't. Like You can't be friends if you are a heterosexual man. You cannot, if you are in a committed relationship, you cannot be friends with another woman because friendships involve intimacy. They know intimate details about you that everybody else doesn't know. It involves lots of time being spent, and at times it's going to put you in awkward situations. I cannot tell you how many videos I've seen in these social media spaces of a female who calls her male friend just on some test type stuff and say, "Hey, I want you to come over right now." And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. They always ready to go. Tr. Somebody always want to clap cheeks in those dynamics.
Yeah.
It's always like that.
But remember what I said earlier, there's generally someone your replacement, and I think this applies to a lot of men. Your replacement is in your circle, like either your circle or your wife's circle or your girlfriend's circle, whatever it is. Like it's generally in that vicinity. So yeah, you're right. Men and women cannot be friends. Barely work buddies. And even then, that's still problematic though, too, because that's just my work husband, my work wife, and then you get a divorce. Now you end up because you went to the Coldplay concert. Like that's the stuff that people or men want their wives working, or I think most men want their wives to be working, but that's what you're opening the door up to. And I think for most men, like you kind of been that work husband at times though. So yeah, there's a lot of catch 22s when you get back into this working space or people around your wife's circle, even with your husband, I guess sometimes as well too, because if a woman see that this is a good, this is a good dude, they're gonna want that guy. They're gonna want to see how they can get close to that guy, making shit. Have a woman make you food. Like, oh, this is a potluck or something. I made this specially for you. Like, people try to get fired around here, or at least postal in the work spot.
Yeah, dude's got to peep game on stuff like that. If you have a coworker who brings you a plate at the potluck, that's a choosing signal, bro. Like you got to know when some of these chicks still kind of know how to use their feminine for stuff like that, and some of them are absolutely clueless. But clearly, this friend had intentions. And again, I'm taking it back to this lady in the video. Why are you not talking to your friends, and why are you not setting those boundaries? Here's the thing: solid men, and I am one of those. Don't get it twisted. Look, we a good deal, and most people know that. I understand that I can grant you access to things that you can't do on your own, and I can show you masculinity that you've never seen, and 9 times out of 10 you can't
And your
handle.
sons ain't seen
And
either.
yeah, and your sons ain't saying either. And any woman who's logical and smart should understand that, hey, this is someone in a million type stuff. I'm gonna do everything I can not to fumble this, and that's including checking your friends and establishing boundaries.
Yeah, I think it's weird. So the other thing, the husband told the wife. So to me, I mean, he had to know that was going to be like some type of issue. Although I don't think you really can hide it though, because that would be a whole nother conversation. But the other thing that I don't think we brought up though, she was trying to meet up. She was trying to have like
Yes.
some one-on-one time. This is beyond friend. This is you're removed from the friend group as well as, or she says she was kind of like family. I forget what she said. She was family or like family, but that person gets removed from the group. Like you can have someone trying to have side missions with your husband or your wife. I mean, even for guys though, where guys are very protective. So as soon as anything like this even comes close to like happening, or you know what, what's so innocent, but it's not so fucking innocent, is when they friend request your chick.
Yeah, that's wild too.
That's
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
what are you doing? I mean, that's like me friend requesting my friend's wife, but I'm not friends with him on social media. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, unless it's like this person doesn't want to be on social media, and then all of the conversations go through a social media account. Shit, I know somebody that they have like a dual social media account because of, I don't know, I'm guessing bullshit happened there. But yeah, this is see men are way better at protecting their household than women are protecting their household, because men know one thing, you get out of line and then it's going to be a fight, and depending on how things go, if you two-way or what, somebody might be going to the hospital, as opposed to women. They're like, hey, what were you thinking? Like, I'm past the point giving people the benefit of the doubt nowadays.
Hey, I'm glad you kind of brought that up, TR, because one thing that men have going that women don't, there is an unofficial guy code. Most men understand that your guy's chick is off limits. We ain't forming no tight bonds. We ain't having no conversations unless you present for that mess.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
The only time there's a girl code is when they want to team up together and shame men for doing something that they don't think men should do. That's the only time the girl code
Yeah,
comes into place. They don't have protocols on friendship and they don't have protocols on boundaries.
that's a fact.
So women, y'all
Why
gotta
did
look
you reach
internally.
out to my husband talking about, hey, boo, can I pull up after work where you're at? So, because I need a male's perspective. Like,
Remember the
she's like, well,
comments.
because I need a guy's perspective. And, your husband, I think he's a good guy. He's a good husband. He's a good person. He's a good sibling. He's a good this. He's a good that. Uh-huh. I know. Yeah, why would you not call me? Like, I don't understand. Why would you not call me, your best friend, to say, hey, do you think I could talk to your husband? Or can I pull up at your house? I would like to have a conversation with your husband. I like his male perspective. But run it by me first. Like, I don't understand what a lot of you females, let me tell you something.
Oh,
If you don't
here's a
have a
clip.
husband, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But there's certain lines that should not be crossed in a marriage, in a relationship, okay? If you want anything to do with my husband, talk to my husband, you could call me. Okay, I got you. Hey, babe, old girl said she wanted some advice. You think you could? Oh, you want to?
Honestly, though, let's say she did go about the right way, and I think we're done here because she's starting to Kamala Harris us. Um, do you think he could give her any good advice? Like, really give her good advice, and then also for it not to blow back on him? Because as for me, as I've gotten to know, I don't be getting anybody's relationships. Even when I try to tell men about, hey, I think she might be getting over on you. Hey, you don't know that. I'm like, all right, dude. All right, fuck you. But do you think he could have given her good advice?
More than likely, he probably has some gems in there, but she ain't gonna listen. Look, nine
Yeah,
times
true.
out of 10, when people do talk to me about stuff like this, I always tell them, just it doesn't take long to figure this out. You are not ready for the man that you think you deserve
Yes,
because
true. Fact.
he's not going to put up with the stuff that you're doing. You don't like to be corrected, you don't like to listen, and you're combative and argumentative. And
Mhm.
I'm telling you, most men with any type of backbone ain't going to put up with that very long.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. And when it comes to like these relationships, yeah, a lot of times if you it's kind of like when you tell people about stock trading or giving them financial advice. Most of the time, people aren't going to do it, and then when they do listen, they do half of it, or they half-ass it. So, and that definitely extends to relationships as well too.
No, absolutely it does.
So, anyways, we're gonna get some conversations from Shannon Sharp and Ocho. I saw this trending a little bit. MC, I'm not sure if you've heard, but Angel Reese, she got suspended a game, or actually, I believe half a game or something. One was for related to her technical fouls, and the other one is some choice words about her teammates. So
Let's do it.
Angel Reese out of LSU. And the crazy thing about Angel Reese, that I think I don't hear a lot of people coming to Angel Reese's defense, but also I don't hear a lot of people like really trying to, have a real conversation about Angel Reese though, because anytime you throw your teammates under the bus, that's generally a conversation. We definitely know it's done on ESPN. I'm thinking of just like Terrell Owens. There's probably some other people, but Terrell Owens was like the one that really caused a lot of controversy in the locker room. I don't believe he was as bad as people he said he was, but it got to a point where he just had to go. So, and that was always a conversation. I mean, I know he was, part of the whole Dallas regime and everything, but we've heard of other players that have been, conduct detrimental to the team type conversations.
Yeah, I try to write for Angel Reese. I really do. But every so often, TR, she shows me that she ain't trying to leave, man. Like, what
Believe
are you
where
doing? Like,
What do you mean
Her
leave?
team, lead the team. Is
Oh,
this your
leave.
team
Got it.
or is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
somebody else's team?
Yep.
And occasionally she shows signs of this, but to be fair, Caitlin Clark has criticized her teammates at times too.
Oh, this motherfucker. Holy shit.
Hey, I got receipts. I got receipts.
This ain't got nothing to do with CC. See, I'm not even a CC fan like that. I think.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure about that, though. See, this is what I'm saying. CC, fun to watch her highlights. I don't watch her games. I barely know what her jersey number is. I barely know what Angel Reese's jersey number is. The only person that, the person that I enjoy looking at is Cam Brink. And I don't even watch any of their fucking games. I just know enough to, like, kind of have these conversations. But when it comes to, like, CC, CC is out for the season. And so when it comes to, like, dealing or talking,
is she or is she not the face of the league, indirectly or directly?
We would say she is the face of the league. The WNBA would say she's not the face of the league.
So my response to that is heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You the face of the league. I agree. But some would say Angel Reese is supposed to be up there as well too. And Angel Reese is
that's my frustration with her.
She probably get her coach fired.
She could be, but I don't get her anymore. I really don't. But you cannot be out here with quote unquote conduct detrimental to the team because you're isolating your team. They're going to stop looking out for you now. And your enforcers aren't going to be there anymore. Like, what are you doing, Angel? Come on now. This is crazy. And the whole technical fouls thing, she's a passionate player, but she needs to be on the court. They need her for her rebounds at least.
Rebounds, yeah.
Technical foul. So, and I think that's tonight. That was tonight, right? She was suspended tonight, and now she's suspended the first half against the Aces on the 7th to be Monday, correct? Yeah. Sunday.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, they do not need her for the playoffs because they are out of the playoffs. So there's that. But they have the actually second worst record. The absolute worst record is a team led by Paige Buchers, but that's another conversation.
They're definitely the worst in the East. I know the Wings are the worst in the West.
Yeah. The CC replacement, but yeah.
Sunday. Look. Angel expressed her dissatisfaction with the state of the franchise, is what she said. I like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. But while I'm here, I'm going to try to stay open-minded about what I have here and maximize that as much as I can. She then called out specific teammates by name and expressing her desire for Marsh to coach the team harder. She was quoted multiple times saying, "We need great players." She also questioned whether Courtney Vandersloot was capable of returning to form at the age she's at after tearing an ACL 7 games into the season. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Damn, man.
Shit. hey, most of the time too, Unc, with someone like that, someone as young as Angel, who's coming to the game that has great passion, who's good. There are certain things that you can think, but you never say out loud, especially when it's talking about your teammates. Your teammates you see all the time, teammates that have grinded with you through training camp, the teammates that obviously go to war with you on the court, on the hardwood, and that would be very offensive. That would
of course it would.
I couldn't really walk in that locker room and look them in their face again.
Nah.
Hey, Haley, MC, do you remember Haley Van Sleuth? I think that's her name. Do you remember her as a player?
I do.
Okay, yeah. So, and she was Angel's teammate. Yeah. And she was Angel's teammate. So she did whatever she can to get out of LSU. And Haley has not had probably by her expectations, she has not had a very good season this year. And I think a lot of that is due not because of Angel Reese though, but because of the way that they're being coached as well too. I think that's also a problem though, because they're trying to run everything through Angel Reese. But if you look at Angel Reese's, she gets her numbers, but the team loses. And this is the worst. Well, I don't know if this is the worst because I didn't check their record from last year, but this is a pretty terrible record. And they got a new coach. So I don't think when it comes to like new coaches and the Angel Reese and CC argument, they're both on their second coaches, and potentially they could be both on their third coaches though, because Indiana Fever, they have an extremely better team for the most part, and they should make the playoffs though. And the coach from last year made the playoffs, kind of with that same team. And so, again, they might be getting coached because they mismanaged Caitlin Clark. They're part of the reason why she got injured, as well as when it comes to Angel Reese, they haven't really had any injuries. They've pretty much had a full team, and they've gotten, gotten better with the draft, but they have a losing record. They have one of the worst records in the WNBA. And so we're looking at like Angel Reese just calling out teammates. Again, Ocho is right. I don't know how you go back in there and try to like, hey, I was just playing, right? Like, I was just joking. They embellish a little bit. You know how the writers be. Like, I don't know how she, has that conversation with them.
Yeah, this is terrible. I just substantiated what Shannon Sharp just said on a couple of different sites. Angel Reese started an internal war within her team. I did just post a quick article. She called out a couple of the vets. A couple of them clapped back. Angel tried to come out later and apologize. Then she switched again and said, well, y'all took what I said out of context. For what I just heard from Shay Shay and for what I just read, she didn't just throw her teammates under the bus. She threw the whole damn organization under the bus. She took a shot at the coach. She took a shot at the GM. Like, who's her biggest mentor and advocate right now, TR? Shaq, right?
Yeah, Shaq, yeah.
We knew that Shaq and Kobe didn't like each other, but we didn't know how bad it was until long after both of them stopped playing in the league. We would hear occasional stories about fights and roster shakeups and getting people out of town, but Angel is not dealing with this being this public figure very well. Mm-hmm. This is not what you're like. If you call somebody out, these are supposed to be locker room conversations. And to be clear, the extent of my athletic performance is high school. I play basketball, football, track. But even then, they tell you if you got a beef with somebody, you take that to the locker room. Y'all talk that out in the locker room. You don't go out and do it publicly. Like, you take your family business and put it out here in the public. She went completely scorched earth on her organization. And check this out. Even if the Sky wanted to get rid of her, do you think her trade value rose or declined with this? Because now some people are looking at her like, dang, is she a cancer in the locker room?
Mm-hmm. This is Courtney having a conversation, and apparently she indirectly called a response to Angel Reese.
Can Sky Nation expect to see you back here next year? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's the coach. Sorry, not Courtney.
Contrary to what people say or think, my age has actually.
Sorry, my bad. That is not the coach. They have a guy coach. What is this?
Courtney Vandersloot.
Oh, okay. It is Courtney Vandersloot. Okay. Yeah. My bad. I was thinking she looked a little bit different, but okay. Oh yeah, you know what? I was wrong on that. I was getting her mixed up with what was her name? Haley.
Yeah, you thinking of Haley? What is Haley's last name?
Yeah. My bad, guys. I was like,
you're thinking of Haley Van Lith.
Van Lith, so there we go.
Yeah. Van Lith,
yeah. I remember because she's actually up there in age, which is a crazy part. So yeah, Haley Van Lith, she played with Angel Reese, and then also she has had a terrible. Well, again, I don't know if it's been a terrible season because she really had that much time to play on the court though. But Van Sloot, she definitely. I don't know if she's going to play any longer though. Plus the ACL tear. Eesh.
Oh, absolutely. Contrary to what people say or think, my age is actually not a factor. I am coming back. I'm going to come back better than ever because that's what I've done. I put myself in the position to come back and compete even at this age.
Hey, you know what? I might be on Angel's side. Hold on, let me do it live here because I don't know her age, but she looks old in this picture. Let me see. She's 36, coming from an ACL tear.
It's a fair criticism. What I'm saying is it fair to go out publicly and expose the?
No, she's not fair. Team? But should she still be in the league like this? Like 36. And you know the crazy thing? We've seen a lot of WNBA players that have been playing close to their 40s. And I'm like, can y'all, is this possible? Like, is this part why the product is not as the product hasn't progressed or hasn't gotten better? Because you would think with these new faces coming in the league, a lot of these rookies get cut, but these veterans keep their spot on the court or on the team. There's something off about this though, but I mean, she had to clap back, and it really wasn't a clap back because she's probably scared to say something about the Angel Reese fans. But yeah, she definitely had to say something though. But I don't know, Angel might be on to something though, because I was thinking Haley, and I forgot this is Van Sloot, and she tore the ACL and all that shit.
Again, it's fair, but this ain't the way to go about it. This is a conversation. First of all, if you look at the Sky's record since they've come into the league, they really haven't progressed that much. They went from, I think the most they've won over the last 3 years is 18 games in the season. That's not progression. I say all that to say, you don't have any leverage like NBA players do on winning teams. If you're a star on a winning team, you got some leverage to go in there and talk to the GM and the coach like, hey, look, I need y'all to make X, Y, and Z happen, or when my contract is up, I'm out. Angel ain't got that kind of leverage because her team hasn't progressed in any way. So she threw all her cards out on the table. She isolated herself, and she tried to execute on some leverage that she didn't even have. So ultimately, what's the end game here? Because now you're killing your teammates' confidence, and you're isolating yourself and pissing people off. And I hope you don't think this is the way things are going to get better, because some people can deal with stuff like that, but most cannot.
Yeah, not even not even close. So I'm not going to play the rest of the Ocho, but essentially they're kind of giving her a pass for being young and everything. And look, you can say all that, but you can't be doing it like with a terrible team. And I know there's been some conversations with Kobe when he got into that situation, though, especially in the finals when he had like Karl Malone on the squad and he was like, I'm done shooting tonight. Like, there are some conversations where some of our the stars have been there, but Angel Reese hasn't even did anything yet. Angel Reese, I don't think they got to the playoffs last year, or I'm trying to remember if they did get to the playoffs last year. But the point is, Angel Reese hasn't did enough to like even have a conversation, call out a player. She indirectly will take shots at CC. But that's really it. And that's kind of like what everyone has been, giving her grace on. But now they're giving her grace again. I'm actually surprised the WNBA stepped in. Well, Chicago Sky, they stepped in because they got a problem next year. They want to, she's already called out Vandersloot. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Because you can't move Angel Reese because she'll blow up another team. Or maybe Angel Reese wants to leave. Maybe she does want to go. That's part of the conversation there, which will be messed up though because she's built up her brand in Chicago.
Look at it like this too. You just said that she's had 2 coaches already, right?
Yeah.
Can we theorize that maybe she had a role in getting the last one up out of there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if the coaching has been changed, the play hasn't improved, I can only deduce that the problem may be you.
Yeah, but will Chicago Sky actually do something? I don't think they will.
I mean, they gave her a half a game suspension. That's nothing. That's a tackle. That's not even a slap.
I don't think I've ever heard of that for this. You do that in college. I don't think I've heard about that in pros.
I've heard that in high school when you got like a C on a test or something, but
yeah,
this ain't high school no more. This is crazy, man. I hope she learns her lesson. I don't know what her quote unquote mentors are putting into her, but it ain't sticking, man. Like, come on, Angel. I'm rooting for you, but this ain't it. You gotta figure out another way to inspire. This ain't it though.
Yeah, I'm sure Shaq is like, God damn it, Angel.
Nah, Shaq is just gonna punch everybody in the face.
Hey, for real. All right, we are going to jump to single mom wife. Now, the crazy thing with the single mom wife conversation, and I've heard this from like coworkers, and there's one person in particular that I'm thinking of where her husband he worked out. I mean, I'm trying to, if you know me, you might know who this person is, but this person didn't work at home. Okay, just had to be away from home a little bit. But I was like, so what's the problem? Like, you knew that this is his profession. And I was like, well, yeah, but after a couple years, and it reminded me of the bait and switch that, Coach Greg, CGA Adams, CGA discusses about the bait and switch, because I think in marriages, there are times where they're okay with it. And then after like that 6 or 7 year mark, which is coincides with what she, was referring to about being a single mom wife, she was just, I don't think she would ever divorce her husband though, but she was having that conversation, and it got to a point where she was like, what, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, you have kids, so you're not going to do anything. You're just going to be a good, dutiful wife. Like, I don't know what it is about why a lot of times wives aren't happy. They act like life is better on these streets, like, or their life is better being like having your kids live out of a backpack. It just blows my mind.
Coldest marriage advice I ever heard in my life. I keep it with me to this day. Your spouse is not responsible for your happiness. You're now they should be adding to it, but they're not responsible for it.
Mhm.
And this is especially important for men, because the minute you start chasing a woman's happiness, you're chasing something that you'll never fully achieve. If she's not fully happy with who she is and how her life is set up, you are going to forever be chasing a moving goalpost that you'll never reach.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be some additional conversations here, though. But let's get the core video out.
To a baseball player, a professional one, and I'm a married single mom.
Okay, MC.
Oxymoron, but go ahead.
I mean, I'm glad you pointed that out, though. What I don't see a lot of people having these conversations, though, is that why is your wife got the sweater puppies out, got the figure? Like, this is mind blowing to me. Like, you're supposed to be, you're going on to the social media and you're advertising your body and telling people that you're unhappy as a wife. Like, this is mind blowing to me, but I just had to point that out real quick.
Let's see if she makes any type of logical points, TR. What do you think? Let's find out.
That's right. You heard me. I'm a married single mom. And what do I mean by that? I mean that my husband plays baseball 7 months out of the year. And so 7 months out of the year, I am parenting 3 children alone for the most part. I go to all of the activities. I handle all the business here at the house. And at the end of the summer, we go for visits. But even when we go to visit him for those 2.5 months, my husband's only home for 2 weeks out of the month. So unless I travel with my entire family, 3 children, all under 6, and go with him, we don't see my husband but for 2 weeks out of those months during the summer. The rest of the time, I'm doing everything by myself. And by everything, I mean the drop-offs, the pickups, scheduling the appointments, taking the kids to do all of their things, the birthday parties, the kindergarten graduations, the after-school clubs, all of the.
Do you know how many women would switch places with her in a heartbeat? Some of these women have to go into the office and get, I mean, and as men already know this, but women are finding out that, hey, I don't know working in the office is like something I want to do long term. I need to find somebody to save me. Like, we see people like Aisha Curry and Sierra. We see a lot of people that have these wives, or even, Michelle Obama. We see a lot of these wives that are taking these unnecessary digs and shots at their husband. And she's talking about all this, what else are you going to fucking do? That's what I want to know. What else are you going to do? Would you rather be in a goddamn office? Would you have to like ask your boss, hey, I need PTO to enjoy my life with my family? Like, I don't understand why she's having such an issue, or why a lot of these, the comments are going to show that they don't agree with her, but it's like, she still felt comfortable enough to put this out there.
Yeah, any woman who goes to social media to vent about her relationship, your stuff is cooked. Here's the thing about baseball I don't follow baseball in a huge way, but I know enough about it to know you pretty much choose very, very early in high school to pursue that as a career.
Right.
Why is that important here? Because you knew what the fuck I told myself I was gonna stop
Yeah,
cussing in
family
2025
show.
because you knew what the hell you were getting yourself into from the jump.
Hell.
You had multiple kids with this dude. You know that baseball has a very heavy schedule. So why are you complaining about this now? That's number one. Number two, I've said this before, TR. I see it all the time. I see so many married women who wish they were single. This is step one of the streets are knocking, and I think I'm going to answer the call. Watch yourself, dude.
Bait and switch.
I don't like pocket watching. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. I don't like pocket watching other dudes, but I know he's the most recent update I saw. He signed the biggest contract he's ever had so far. I know he's still working and progressing up his career. He's on his way to being a millionaire. I'm looking at the background of their house right now. It looks like a pretty nice house. What's the problem? What is he providing? I get that he's got this crazy schedule. You know it's not going to be forever. You know he's going to make concessions as he gets more into his career to have more balance and spend more time. But what are you asking for? What do you want? Because to me, this screams like I'm crying for attention. This reminds me of when Aisha Curry went on what the Red Table Talk. It said that she sometimes misses getting attention from other men. This is a call for attention, TR.
Yeah, she also had like a follow up to that stuff, like on the Zaddy podcast, though, which is maybe we'll get to that though. But this is like really bad though, because on one hand, you have your wife who's just telling the world, not you, telling the world. So either she's doing this just for clicks or she really means it. But it says she's doing it for clicks. So she's selling out your marriage for this. Like this is really bad. And then you got kids. They're like, hey, bro, is your mom okay? Like, does she need me to come through? Like, she appears to be unhappy.
Or going back to that earlier story, maybe one of the friends will call her and be like, hey, I could use a woman's perspective on something. Can I come over and talk about it?
Exactly. And that's exactly how it goes down too. Shit, it could be somebody in his on his team that might shoot his shot. Like, hey, look, I could take you out of this situation.
Things I'm doing by myself, even as someone married to a professional athlete. I would never be embarrassed to say that. I would never be embarrassed to say that. That means that I am a badass woman who knows how to figure shit out. It means that I am a wholly capable woman who has figured out how to make my life work with my three children and never compromise on beat.
Actually, I'm done with her.
This sounds like you wanted to do a video to throw your marriage under the bus just so you can pat yourself on the back for doing stuff that all mothers do every day anyway. Here's the other thing though, TR. As a man, you have a very hard decision to make, because one of the trade-offs that happens is the more into your work you are, the more successful you tend to be. This is where that work-life dynamic comes into play. How much time do you want to spend at home? How much time do you want to spend providing? Every man has to make that decision. It's a very hard and personal one. I've heard Shannon Sharp on his podcast say, look, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with my kids when they were little because I was providing for them. I wanted to make sure they didn't grow up the way I did. So I was always in the gym, working out, pursuing the next contract, pursuing the next ring. So we all got to make that decision. So make the decision. You chose this guy. You knew what he wanted to get into. So now you got to deal with. But it sounds like you want out, honestly.
Yeah. So the signs that I can tell maybe you're not in a happy marriage is when they say mom to three. Like, are you not married? You mean wife and mom to three? I'm telling you, I had a conversation with a friend like that, and she was like, well, what's the big deal? I'm like, well, that sends out a sign that you might not be married or you're not happily married. I know everyone's going to say like, well, that doesn't mean you're reading into it. That's exactly what the fuck it is. Then why can't you put one of the most elusive titles in the United States is actually being a wife? I know people say it's easy to get married or something, but apparently people don't want the goddamn title. And then secondly, this woman, she's trying to launch her social media career, blah, blah, blah. But again, I can't tell this woman has like a kid outside of looking at a couple pictures here and there. So this is not a family account. I don't want to hear anything about, this is what she does for the family. She ain't advertising her family. And she just started looking like this. if I can, I don't know
Something
if
else.
I don't know if she even has this on here, but she looked way different in some older photos. And look, I'm glad you can have your transformation, blah blah blah, and you should feel good about that though. But you're selling out your marriage. This is not you know, a this is like this is why Aisha Curry gets all the smoke. This is why Michelle Obama. This is why they all catch all this smoke though, because instead of praising their husband and saying like, "Look, he saved me from my situation," they end up just destroying their relationship. They end up just trying to create these issues that they're not even running into. Like I mean, the baseball player, he doesn't even play in the minor leagues, right? Or he doesn't even play in I don't think he plays in the US minor leagues. I believe he plays in the Mexican baseball league or something. But I mean, you can look this stuff up though. But she's had conversations. She's been involved with conversations about being a athlete's wife. It's not all fun and games and everything, blah, blah, blah. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know what you thought the fuck it was, but you knew he was a baseball player. Not to mention you had 3 kids. Your life is the kids. And then he provides the roof over the head. He provides you guys the ability to do activities. Look, no one would know who she is or what she's, or I mean, the amount of engagement she's had without her husband. This is all due to her husband. His money allows her to be elevated a little bit so she can have the social media profile. This is not her. This is because of him. And I bet you money he paid for the alterations in that body though, because again,
Hi, I'm married.
She did not look like this when they first met. So, and I imagine after having a few kids, things are going to change a little bit. Things will get a little droopy. This looks like either a mommy makeover or this is some miracle bra or whatever it is.
Yeah, one of my biggest social media pet peeves, I'll see a married woman, and you called it out first. She only acknowledges her kids in her bio. And then it gets
You guys,
even
I
more
feel
annoying when you see that they acknowledge it's mother, wife, like out of order,
Yeah.
completely out of order and out of pocket. If you are not getting married with the intention that your spouse is the most important person, don't get married. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's out of order and it's a formula for divorce. Now, if you are properly managing your life, you'll never have to choose between your spouse and your kids. But at the end of the day, your spouse comes first, your kids come second, and everybody else falls in a ranked category in a separate box.
Hey, what is that
And
called?
this shit is out of order.
What is that? Was that umbrella called the in the
I,
Bible?
I just call it the Christian hierarchy. But truthfully, even if you're not a Christian, it's a consistent principle. If you're going to marry somebody, you're essentially stating they're the most important person in your life.
Yeah. See, here it is again. I just work here. I don't got no problem with her doing the digital stuff. She should stay off the internet because she's selling out her marriage. But look, mommy to all of her, we don't even need to know your kids' names. And looks like she's a little bit more on the kids side of things or the family side of things on this side. And she does, showcase her husband. But I mean, look at this. Look, like we're enjoying it, boys. Like, like if you want your wife out there looking like this, hey, I mean, if you got a good looking wife, fine. But like I said, this is not what she had a picture here. I don't know if these are like well, maybe this one's a little bit better. So yeah, she's definitely a little bit different. She says she worked very hard to get the body that she has. Again, no one's knocking for that, but don't be selling out your marriage. This man is, yeah, he has to be away from his family. You think he wants to be like that? Shit, I feel bad for the military bros because you have to be around, you got to be away from your family for like, months, years. Like you got to be away from your family. And I don't want to hear anything about, these women are like, oh, I didn't know. Like, yes, you did know. You guys have a fucking community where you all can get together and have build friendships. But I'm telling you, man, a lot of these people, a lot of these wives, like they look happily married, but obviously they're not. That's why I don't be going off of like people's pictures though. I mean, this is a really good picture, but at the end of the day, when it comes to like married men, there's only a few married men that I'll take their advice from. MC, you're one of them, and it's a very short list after that. because a lot of these married men, they're letting their wives say reckless shit on social media. They're letting them to, pretty much publicly, whether directly or indirectly, destroying their, their marriages. And then you have them just, posting wildly. Like, just, you can't be posting stuff. Like, you're supposed to, you want to be the wife and you want to be a mother. You got to put this up. This is why, I mean, again, I can't even put Savannah James out of a lineup. Like, and I know she has posted, like, I'm not saying she's never posted anything, but it's very few and far between. And again, I barely know what Savannah James looks like because she rarely embarrasses, LeBron James. And I think she tried to do a podcast, but maybe that folded. But that was a blessing in disguise because she don't need to be doing a podcast. And LeBron James is, still actively in the NBA. And so she doesn't need to be trying to build her brand off of his name.
Yeah, and look, man, you know what comes next. The ultimatum comes next.
Yeah.
It's either me or your career. So I hope that dude. I've seen this story too many times, and I'm not wishing ill will on his marriage, but I've seen this story too many times.
Yeah. And real quick, he actually retired last year. He just started playing this year because I wanted to look this guy up. Though I'm like, man, what is going on here? Like, is there something wrong here? Like, there's got to be more to this story where I can be like, okay, maybe they made a lot of money and they don't make a lot of money, but they've never made a lot of money. Well, from his contracts, he's never had that much. He's never made like that game, changing baseball money. So I think it's wild that he probably doesn't think it's an issue though, but that train is never late. It is never late. And the way that she's acting, I wouldn't be surprised if they get, I don't want to say it out loud, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change in the family where she's trying to upgrade.
Yeah, and ironically, she's doing the same thing that I just accused Angel Reese of doing in the last conversation. She's taking private conversations and making it public.
Yeah.
And putting weaknesses in the armor that's protecting her home team.
Yep.
This is crazy, man.
No, you're right. You give everyone a chance to, pause, come between you and your wife. Like, there's an opportunity there, and it's unfortunate. The kids shouldn't have to deal with that, but they don't ever think about, hey, protecting the family. If a woman tries to steal your man, like we looked at the earlier video, you know how to go in attack mode. Well, who protects you from your family then? Apparently, it needs to be the conversation that needs to be had.
Man, if you need to be protected from your own family, that's a whole different conversation for another time. But
well, probably social media is where they need protection from, though. But they do whatever they want to do. So
and to be clear, when we talk about stuff like this, we're not wishing destruction on marriages, but we are simply telling men you have to command your respect. She has to respect you. If you're going to stay with her, she has to respect you. Period. We want respect first, then everything else will fall into place over time. But it starts for men with respect, and women, y'all got to realize that.
Yeah, facts. So
and not respect the way you see it, the way men see it.
Yeah. I think that's I think that's something that women say they don't understand, but I think they really do though. Because when it comes to like working in the office, they always know what's going on. They know exactly what's expected of them.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
All right. We are going to respond to a conversation from I think he still raps, Willie D. Conversation or a response to the Shannon Sharp allegations. Let me get this set up here.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? The Shannon Sharp drama just took an unexpected turn. Gabriella Zuniga, the woman who sued
It's actually pronounced Zuniga, but whatever.
Shannon for various sex crimes, took to social media today and said this: from now on, when you talk to me.
Oh man. This is like really funny to me. How this Gabriella chick has went up another level because of that settlement, though. But I don't know. I just had to laugh.
Or about me, refer to me as Gabriella Zoniga, ma'am,
So,
the
nigga.
Don, or boss. That announcement was made in a now deleted Instagram post, but not before the internet screen snagged it, analyzed it, and torched it in equal parts. See, fam, this is why I say, do not settle. If you believe that you are innocent, do not settle.
Look, we have never been in these types of situations, though. But I don't think Shannon Sharp. So we didn't have a follow up on this. I don't think Shannon Sharp had a choice. I just, it's either you roll the dice and have everything, come out in the discovery, or you make this go away. And it's not like he had to admit that there were any wrongdoing. It was just the lawyer, Gabrielle Suaniga, she said, the lawyer said, hey, we are not, both parties are happy with this. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but both parties are happy with the resolution.
I suspect that he did this because he thought he maybe could have saved his job at ESPN. Because you know how Disney/ESPN is when it comes to PR hits. And they got rid of him anyway. But truthfully, TR, I'm with Willie D on this. He should have fought. I suspect that Sharp has access to more legal assistance and financial assistance than this chick does. And I think just on that alone, he probably could have kept fighting until she got tired and just wanted to just be done with it. Because it was ultimately, it was a civil suit. I don't even think she went after criminal charges. So she was trying to get the bag in the first place. But the audacity of her to say, call me boss, knowing that what kind of era are we living in where all these women, I don't even know what she does for a living. I'm assuming she's an influencer, right?
Well, she's MC. Let's be fair to Gabriella. She's retired from OnlyFans, and she says she's turning her life over to the Word, the good book. So let's be fair about what I don't think she does anything now other than
oh god, here we go with the Christian punching bag argument. Let me go ahead and just lean into Christianity when it's convenient for me. You know what? Don't get me started on that.
Oh man.
I'm not calling somebody a boss who got their riches off the work that they didn't do themselves. You laid on your back a couple times and you hustled Shannon Sharp. That's ultimately how you got your money. Nobody respects that.
I mean, is it hustling?
The 304 is always a hustle. Good where she
look,
she was
MC. If we
vanity of it.
When it all came out, when we had the conversation about, or they had the conversation about, I mean, he had to pay $50K per cheek. If that's all you had to pay, then I don't know why he just didn't pay it, because now he ended up alleged to pay $23 million, which I don't think she really got $23 million. I'll explain that in a moment. But it sounds like it was a cheaper amount had he just went along with it versus saying like, you know what, I don't want to deal with you at all and just cut her off completely.
Yeah. Fellas, another thing you need to be mindful of is that there's a group of women who get off on putting men through trauma and stress. Like that's literally orgasmic for them. And you got to avoid women like that. She did this as a taunt and a troll. She knows that she got over on him. She knows that she didn't earn any of that money, the cheap money or the settlement money.
Yeah.
And she's still taunting him after the situation was supposed to be over. If she truly was in this for justice, she would have moved on. Okay, I got my justice. I got what I came for. Let me go move on and do some other stuff. But no, she spit the block. She circled back trolling. So she's putting herself out there, and we know what type of chick she is based on a couple of little posts that she's made. But you know what? Women like this always get with simps because simps are kind of driving the economy right now. There's too many men out here running around who do not demand respect from the women.
She got Shannon Sharp money now, so all she needs is a simp to kind of do silly stuff. Which I'm waiting to see the next dude line up though, because people say you can't make hoes in a housewife. A lot of these P stars, they married.
$100 says she's with another athlete within another month or two, just like Brittany Renner.
Yeah, probably shouldn't settle anyway under any circumstances. Now, here's the deal, fam. I don't believe that a woman who is traumatized, who has been essayed to the extent that she said she was, who had been violated, would be on social media stunting with the money that she won from a legal suit.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear this shit because Cassie was doing the same exact goddamn thing. Cassie got her money and was talking about this is for all the victims out there, and she was a champion for women that had been forcibly raped. Come to find out, that wasn't the case, and the money that she got, the settlement money, to pretty much all $30 million, she hasn't given that money to any victims' funds. She might not be doing the same thing Gabriella's doing, but she's still posting like, she won some moral victory, and it had nothing to do with it. They, the whole case was a goddamn farce. But what I'm saying is, Cassie was doing the same exact goddamn thing, and Willie D was out here putting his cape for Cassie.
This is why, TR, it's really difficult for me to understand women when it comes to subjects like this, because you want to go after them in civil court, fine, get your bag. If you truly went through something, fine, get your financial compensation. But shouldn't the bigger priority be the criminal part of it? Shouldn't the bigger priority be get this dude off the street so he doesn't do this again to the next person?
Allegedly.
That's why it's so allegedly. That's why it's so hard for me to take some of this stuff seriously, because I'm the type of person where I'm going to come after you for the criminal stuff first, because I don't want the next person to suffer. So this all comes off as money grabs to me.
So what, the other issue that I have a problem with that is that a lot of men know that there's a problem here, that there's a concern here, and it doesn't stop at Gabrielle. Like I said, Cassidy, maybe going to the Duke lacrosse. Like I honestly had, she kept her, or had the stripper. If she didn't keep her, if she couldn't keep her story straight, is what I believe would happen. But has she been able to keep her story straight, them boys are going to jail or going to prison. So there's a lot of women that they get a lot of men around them. They're like, hey, we believe you. Just, you're brave, you're strong. Just tell your story, tell your truth. Like, I understand women are going to always, stay on code. But too many men got to get on here and act like, hey, this is, it's easy to vilify Gabriella, but there's a bunch of Gabriellas out there. And I think it's just convenient to vilify Gabriella. I mean, Gabriella did, she did screw over Shannon Sharp, though. And then also Shannon Sharp put himself in that situation, too. So I don't want to, I don't want to say like he was a complete victim. But, yeah, he definitely fumbled a bag. And, he's definitely going to be on the fumble bag of the year, or maybe even bait or simp of the year, though. But, yeah, I think Willie's playing both sides here just because it's easy to go after Gabriella.
I don't know, man. I'm with Willie on this. I think Willie is pretty clear and one-sided on this one. I think we're seeing this one a little bit differently.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah, Gabriella is bad.
Another example of this was the chick in Colorado when the whole Kobe thing jumped off.
Oh, yeah.
In the words of D.L. Hughley, they found more nuts in her than the Snickers bar. So she was clearly active that night before she tried to get at Kobe. So
yeah, but I could bring up the punter for was it the Bills or the Patriots, where he got kicked off the team because he alleged to have raped somebody at a party. Actually, that happened to a basketball player. Damn, I can't forget that basketball player, dude. Well, anyways, that just recently happened, where he was at a party with his teammate, and well, he's in prison. I forget that guy's name though, but again, and everyone believed her, and they're all at a party and they're all having, all fucking each other, and he's the one that gets popped because he's the basketball player.
That's why I say we got to get rid of ideologies like believe all women. You shouldn't believe all of anybody in any category, because every category has good people and every category has trash people.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
From an accuser, I don't believe that a woman of integrity would do something like that. That's why I always said this chick was scandalous. I always said that she was, after Shannon, and it was a money grab from day one. if you just listen to the lawsuit, if you read the lawsuit, if you listen to her talk, I mean, if you read the text messages, you already know, especially if you've been in the streets, then you know what type of chick that chick is.
Yeah, we all know.
You know. If you got any type of common sense, then you know. You wouldn't have felt no empathy for her whatsoever. But she got the benefit of doubt being that she is a female, and on top of that, a white female accusing a black celebrity who got paper of violating her. Ever since she sued Shannon, she just been on a spending spree, just blowing through those millions. I bet you $1 to a donut she spent at least $1 million already. And what was the settlement about a month or so ago? I bet you $1 to a donut she's already spent north of $1 million.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. But Willie D, he's probably right about her spending $1 million. But again, I don't think she got $20 million though. So I was looking at Shannon's net worth and his contracts and everything. And Shannon is bringing in, let's see, and I know the celebrities' net worth isn't always like 100% accurate, but I think one of the better, I believe, a reputable website is Celebrity Net Worth. And so let's say they said Shannon's at $30 million, okay? And I know he has the podcast and endorsements, but his podcast maybe is bringing a couple million a year, but he's pretty much got to work almost every night for that. So, to get to that 30 million, and if we believe that she got a 23 million, that'd be a really bad deal for Shannon, because if he signed off on 23 million and he's going to lose the majority of his net worth, that'd be really bad. That would go in the history of the simp of the century. So that's why I don't believe she got $23 million. Maybe she got a couple $1 million, and we'll find out really soon how long or how much money she really got, though, because if she starts losing money and she goes back to OF, then she blew through all the money and it was a short amount. Again, it's probably like a couple million, maybe $5 million. And, half went to the lawyer and then the other half she gets to keep.
Yeah, and then we got to remember he fumbled a $100 million contract that was in the works as of April, and then they backed out of it when all this stuff started to come to light. So there definitely was a big fumble for sure. But again, I remind people, there's a reason why when Kevin Samuels used to talk about high value men, he specifically said, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but there's a reason why Kevin Samuels didn't include athletes in the high value men conversation, especially when you consider how many of them manage their finances post-retirement and the choices in women that they tend to make once they're in the spotlight. Stuff like this has to be considered. Everybody ain't built for the life that you're trying to build, but sometimes we move on looks alone. We don't do any deeper dives. He clearly has a type because he's had exchanges with people that he's dealt with in the past before, and they all seem to look the same. So he clearly has a type. But I don't understand how you would let somebody infiltrate your empire like this and just destroy it. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think what people need to start praising. I shouldn't say praising, because I know y'all gonna feel some type of way. But the men that are out here that are, in their 50s and 60s, the Leonardo DiCaprios, the Jamie Foxxes, generally they haven't had any problems with women, and they tend to date women. I don't want to say they're in the Gabriella's age range, but I mean they're near there. So, and they get all the smoke for dating these types of women, as well as they're being called creepy. Like this is, I think that's just people coping. I think that's a lot of men wishing they could be in that situation. And I mean, a lot of men will probably still take Gabriella. Like a lot of men cap about this whole thing with Gabriella, though, but they're still taking her for a spin.
Yeah, it'd be curious to check back in on her in about 2 to 3 years and see where she is, because I'm not expecting to see any businesses or any investments take off. I'm just expecting to see a lot of vacation pictures, then back to the streets she returns. So we'll see.
Yep. All right. We are gonna now get to the main. Whoops. actually. The main event, which is the baseball Karen. This has been something that's been all over the place, and I definitely think we need to have a conversation about this though, because there's some things that are off about this Karen situation, MC though. So let me get to the timestamp area. Here we go.
A golem in his ring, and psychotic Karen and her ball. Now, what is this meme based off of? It's based off of something that happened at a Phillies versus Marlins game last night when a home run ball, which was caught by a father, got stolen by a Karen, a psychotic, old, aging, boomer, white, lib lady, threw a fit and stole a young child's ball. Presumably, this is a father and his wife and their children, and some psycho woman, a literal psychotic Karen. We're still working on exactly who this is, but whenever we find out, we'll be sure to tell you, decided to ruin this young man's night by stealing his baseball. But it has a happy ending. First off, let's watch the moment.
And ball hit the fan. Oh, the Phillies fan came in and he stole it from another Phillies fan. Oh, she can't believe it.
Okay, I want to begin. I want to do a little play-by-play here. Okay.
Hold on, MC. Any thoughts on this before we dive into this?
First thing that popped in my head is, you're not going to run up on me like that, and you sure as hell ain't going to run up on my child like that. You're going to be removed. You're going to get picked up, scooped up, and get the hell away from my family. That's the first thing that popped in my head. But I'm trying to see what pissed her off. I'm trying to see, did she really have a chance to catch that ball? Because I've seen hands get thrown over foul balls before or home run balls before. I suspect that she didn't have any chance to catch this ball, and he just got there quicker than she did.
Hey, if the ball's on the ground, it's up for grabs. Now, you can make the case if the ball is on the ground, what's the level of force? And she was a seat behind the ball. She was a row behind when that ball hit the ground, though, because hold on, let me see where Benny's at. Yeah, she's right there. She's right there. That ball is in that row. So maybe she should have jumped over and she would have had the ball. But he takes the ball. Took the ball.
It's funny you say that though, but she did jump over to confront him because she had to jump a row down.
Yeah. She had to jump down. She wanted to get in his face, and I imagine maybe that's her boyfriend next to her or something. But yeah, this is a very, very bad look. This chick.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, you're not gonna be in my face like that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
What a monster.
Get a little infighting here.
You know, he did give it to what I would assume his son, maybe.
Okay.
Did give it to the youngster.
This lady's got to get it under control. Look at the girl in the background. In the inside
kids, TR. Look at how making those kids feel.
Hey, MC. Look at his wife too. She sat down. I'm assuming. Hold on.
The screen, she's laughing.
Here you go, psychopath, you effing freak.
Benny Johnson's funny.
You know, SSRIs are so bad for you. It actually, like, do enough of them and you're destabilized in a way that, like, you don't even understand what's happening around you. Like, you can't even exist in reality. That's absolutely what's happening with this lady.
In the left-hand side of the screen, she's laughing.
Dad just like that. It's like a freaking ball. So the dad takes it away from his son, takes it out of his son. I told you that it has a happy ending. But before we get to that happy ending, I want to establish something. This lady didn't just victimize this one kid. Here's other footage of the same lady getting in another guy's face. Parent activity. You can see she's the same broad. And she's getting up. She's getting up and she's sitting there and screaming.
Hey, where are the women? Where are the women enforcers? Where are they? This woman is look, flip it. If a man's walking up on women, all these enforcers are running to stomp that dude out. Where are all the women enforcers at? How come these women aren't putting this woman in check, getting her under control? She's getting in this guy's face.
Well,
And truthfully,
we know women don't control women, TR. They don't.
Go, no. I don't want to hear that shit. Nope. Because we've seen plenty of women throw hands at women. So how come when it comes to these types of situations, Sha'Carri Richardson, this Karen, even on the airplane, again, women are allowed to like have this level. Like a man couldn't do this. This is fighting. This is a fight right here. This is everyone's squabbling up and everyone's getting cuffed up. And this woman, and honestly, if he would have threw a punch at her, we put him. I mean, I would think most people are putting a GoFundMe together for this guy.
Yeah, I'm not expecting women to be enforcers. I'm not. I'm more so looking at it like, okay,
I'm not expecting women to do it either. But I bring it up though because it shows you the level of restraint men have to go through. Because anytime a man is victimizing a woman, simps show up. A lot of them get killed. A lot of them end up in the hospital, and sometimes they beat the shit out of the dude that's doing the victimizing. It's going to be one of those three options, but it just shows the level of protection that women have that they never see from men.
And again, this guy showed a lot of restraint, man. The worst kind of women are the ones that know that they're dealing with men who will not touch a woman, and they completely take advantage of it. And that's exactly what this chick just did.
Yeah. So, and real quick, just to get to this part though, let me see, Benny.
They ended up getting a signed bat from Harrison Batter. This is the guy who hit the home run ball.
Which is a good story.
They got to meet him. Yeah. This is like way better than getting the home run ball. They got to meet him. They got his is to tell you. Now, here's the thing at people.
I don't know if this is it though, but
happy ending for this kid. The Phillies staff handled this perfectly. They took the boy and the dad and the family all the way down into the stadium, and they ended up getting a signed bat from Harrison Batter. This is the guy who hit the home run ball. They got to meet him. This is like way better than getting the home run ball. They got to meet him. They got his bat, right? They got the cool photographs. Well done, Phillies. Way to go. Then also the Marlins. They were playing at the Marlins. The staff gave him.
That's a good story too. I'm glad they did that. Recognized it.
Well done.
Nah, we ain't doing that, MC. So Benny Johnson continues this conversation about this. MC, I gotta tell you, I got smoke for the dad.
I do too.
No, this ain't working though, because the dad, first of all, did you see the part where he was shrinking like a little biatch? Did you see that part?
The very first thing I said is you would not approach my kids like that, and you sure as hell ain't gonna approach me like that.
Yeah,
she never would have got that close. That immediately would have been an interception on my part. I ain't gonna hit it, but you're gonna get scooped up and you're gonna get moved. You're not gonna get in my kid's face like that.
MC, all that showed me is that this is the man of the house right now. This little boy, his son, that's the man of the house. His dad can't tell him anything to do. Dad, you got punked, and I don't know. We didn't cover this part though, but it was that kid's birthday. This kid you saw your dad get punked by a fucking Karen on your birthday and take the ball from you. And you know, when leading up to it, that kid, he never broke eyesight with that chick. That kid had more heart than the dad did. And I know a lot of people, so I saw a lot of comments where people were like, well, what he's supposed to do, you know, if he would have hit her. So what? You fucking simps gave that one chick $500,000 for calling that kid a nigga. So you won't put any books, you won't put a GoFundMe together for this guy if he would have struck her. And not to mention, I don't think she would have hit him, but I think it's one of those things where if violence did happen, they will put a I believe they'll put a GoFundMe together. So I don't want to hear, like, this is really bad though, because I think, like, when we talk about like the stepfathers in there, like, there's definitely a place for like crazy shit that they've done and simpery that they've done. This is by far the worst. You got embarrassed in front of your kids and your wife. You think he got Haktua that night? Hell no, he ain't getting no Haktua. He's lucky the Phillies organization, and I guess the Marlins, he's lucky they came and saved him, because you want to talk about the high road. When people talk about the fucking high road, they always want to tell you to take the high road when you're the one getting embarrassed, when you're the one getting embarrassed in front of your kid. There's only so many moments where you can look like a piece of shit in front of your kids, shit in front of your wife. So he got it all done in one goddamn take. So I know a lot of people will feel some type of way though, and the Karen POS, and the internet's gonna do what the internet does when it comes to her, but you can't be shrieking like that in front of your family, and there's no way that woman's getting that home run ball. I would have fucking chucked it into the field before I give her the fucking home run ball. Fuck all that shit.
Or I would have looked at my son and say, "You hold that damn ball and let me deal with this."
Yeah, this is
a lot of times men are docile when it comes to women like this, because they beat it in our head to tolerate disrespect from them. And this was disrespect. Let's be clear. This was very disrespectful. And again, you don't have to hit her. Scoop her up and move her away from your family. And she looks like the type of person, Tiara, that'll probably try to sue for any reason. But you know what? Just deal with that, man. Sometimes doing what's best for your family ain't exactly comfortable. But to let her get in your kids while you're standing behind your kids,
yeah.
Nah, that's an L for the day.
Hey, he's getting beta of the fucking year. I don't give a fuck. Fuck. I thought that CEO was getting beta of the year, but he's definitely getting beta of the year though, or he's at least a beta year nominee. Like, again, I know a lot of people feel some type of way and they say all these things could happen. That is why we had men and women's sports. That is why Donald Trump had to be the fucking man for this country and tell y'all not to vote for Kamala Harris, who would have fucking had drag queen story hour across all these schools. This is why you have to, like, you can't allow, like, take the feedback from most men. You just can't do it, because this is what happens. We see a lot of men that are just, like you said, docile, getting punked like that. I mean, he got to go to school the next day. He like, look, hey, what is his fucking kid's name? Troy Tanner. Hey, I like, did your dad speak like that? What was he doing? And maybe he was joking or whatever. You couldn't get me to do that joke. Not even close. To look like a fucking look like a bitch in front of the world. There's no way you can get me to even remotely, like, sell myself short for something like that in front of my wife and kids and the world. Nah, couldn't be me. That kid, man, things turned out great for him, but another man had to come save his fucking family. That's all I know.
First of all, you just took a hard left turn and brought this into politics, but the hell with it. We're here. So
but it's true. It's true. You see a lot of
that's what I'm saying. Let's stay here for a little bit. This is why the Democrats are losing male support, because men like that are the type of men that they want. I mean, we might as well just say it. I mean, y'all basically pushed all the masculinity out of your party, and you got a bunch of dudes in there that probably thought this was acceptable behavior. But look, your first responsibility as a man, as a father, as a husband, is to lead and protect your family. I didn't see you doing either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fucking Karen. I can see if this was like The Rock, or not The Rock currently, but let's say I can see if this is The Rock, this is Thor looking motherfucker, some superhero. I get all that, but to let some 5-foot Karen, terrible Karen,
no matter who it is, TR, you have to protect your family. If he's bigger than you,
what we know,
if he's stronger than you got to figure it
out.
And notice, I'm not saying anything about violence. You can protect your family without violence.
I know, but if it's like somebody that you're clearly outmatched, ain't no way I'm gonna look like a bitch in front of my kid or my family. And I know some people will say, like, hey, you're getting stuck on pride. Those are the one things I feel like, man, you always protect your family, like we've just been saying. And if you don't, you're gonna end up with stuff like this. Because they didn't know that the Phillies were gonna take care of them. So they would have went home for the weekend. And he's getting clowned at school. Like, hey, I saw what your dad did. He better not say shit to me when I walk up in there. I can open up this damn fridge. He ain't gonna say a goddamn thing to me.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. We got to get back to being men.
For real. So, all right. That will wrap up today's show. MC, final words, final thoughts.
No, I'm just glad football season is back, fellas. Get your pizzas. Actually, hit the gym first, but then get your pizzas, get your beers. kick back and watch some football, man. We got our time back. Put the wives and the ladies on notice. Go shopping, do something, or either watch football with me or get on out and have you a time. But it's football. Football is back. Football is king.
And liberal men, get your testosterone checked out. Have a good night.
Pretty much. Peace.